His Honorable Nawab of Dhaka, Nawab Khaja Habibullah Askari is in our studio today. आज हम लोग को मौका मिला उनसे कुछ सवाल करने का हमारे व्यूअर्स के लिए. वेलकम टू न्यूयॉर्क.
थैंक यू सो मच आनस.
इजी क्वेश्चन से हम लोग पहला शुरू करते हैं. न्यूयॉर्क कैसा लग रहा है?
वेरी नाइस. बहुत ही अच्छा, बहुत ही उम्दा. इट्स अ सिटी व्हिच मेक्स मी फील आई एम एट होम.
How do you feel about your son's heroic act?
We've all been trained and taught to think of not this as an act, but of general being a good Samaritan and a good human being to any next person. Well, I think it's running in our families, generations, not from today, but I'm sure if you were in that situation or anyone else, they would have done the same thing. And of course, at being his father and it being put in the limelight, of course, I'm very proud of it.
आपका फादर का नवाबी डेज का कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग मोमेंट शेयर करेंगे?
But then कभी शिकार पे गया जाता था उनके साथ. And शिकार would be, you know, sometimes bird hunting, sometimes I went on a leopard hunt. And of course, both days we had tremendous amount of guns and things in the house because as a Nawab, that was his entitlement.
Right.
I didn't need a license or anything.
No, I
And on Qurbani Eid, we'd have 3 days of open house. And every house used to be cut, goats used to be cut, and then वो आपका barbecue वो भी चल रहा है, ये भी चल रहा है, खीरी भी बन रहा है, तो आपका गुर्दा भी चल रहा है.
Right.
So that was a very prominent part, I remember. So, to me, the best part was people would come from all walks of life. It didn't matter whether you were in which part.
Just to show respect or at least unity का symbol.
Right.
What would you assign as the primary reason for the decline of the Dhaka Nawab family? And second part of the question is, how do you have managed the estate differently, hypothetically speaking?
The decline started fairly in my grandfather's time. I think we took over when he was the age of 19. My grandfather, being so young when he became the Nawab, was not properly tutored enough to handle the affairs. Of course, by then the estate was already under management of the British Imperial government.
Right.
Since the estate was not under the direct control of any of the Nawab, after Nawab Salimullah, the money that would have gone into giving education and literacy and doing other things for the betterment of the people had been put already into various governmental controls from the British period up to then Pakistan period and then of course British period. And Nawab Salimullah was in the civil service and many others in our family. But slowly and surely somehow it moved away from that. We did not somehow assimilate with the culture and people too much, and it was insulated from the rest of the country. And maybe because from earlier periods of time being, you know, it was a lot of intermarriages, which was good, but also we didn't really open up to
the mass. You don't think the Prajasattva Ain by Prime Minister Khaja Nazimuddin had to play any role, or lack of education among the family members? We did not groom them.
Yes, I would tend to think that if we had started grooming our...
Or we are not a victim of politics.
Politics, yes, we were victims of politics, but then again we could have played a bigger role in politics, in leading the way, which was what we used to do before.
Right.
Lead the way, be the... You see, when All India Muslim League came, it wasn't the Nizam of Hyderabad.
Right.
Or it wasn't anyone else, but it was the Nawab of Dhaka who started it. He funded everything. That is but only one part of it, because of course a lot of people from our family have come and made themselves very renowned and made themselves famous. But as a family, today you'll hear of the Gettys, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, you know, they had family trusts, they had foundations.
Right.
That was the thing that was missing in our family. I think that, you know, to take care and make sure of the welfare of a family and all that, I would have changed it differently. As you asked me on the question how I would have done it, I would have made such, if I was given to me, making such sure that there's some kind of trust or foundations were there to run the show, and where, you know, you have education, making sure that the children of every family member is being educated.
We know most of your siblings are back in Pakistan. What triggered your return to Dhaka?
Well, actually, three of my siblings are in Pakistan. One is in triggered my going because I felt that there was no one left there. that there has to be some form of continuity in heritage and culture. Well, I mean, the historical facts are that my father did, whether right or wrong or good or bad, these are the facts of life, and that he did inherit and become the Nawab Dhaka. His father was before him, his father was before him. So it was a matter of custom, usage and continuity. And that's why I thought that since none of my brothers or anyone was ready to take up the mantle, I asked them all and they said no, and they wrote off everything to me, and I said, went back to Bangladesh to try to place myself in a position of that.
Ever since you came back, I mean, what did you do to recover the family property or pride? I mean, categorically, we mention all the properties like your personal property, whether it's like a waqf property or the property under the court of wards.
I have many court cases still pending in the various courts in Bangladesh. I thought I started young, I thought I'd see it by this age, but I'm finding out that even that is not possible. Plausibilities are because, you know, various government changes and abrogation of constitution, which led to abrogation of by writ petitions, and subsequently and finally it kept on it. Waqf states comprised of then 7 different waqfs. Like there was the Khaja Alimullah Waqf, Rasul Baksh, then there was, I'm forgetting all the Jabbo Khanam, there was about 7 of them as far as I remember, Alimullah Waqf state. And that was about 141 bighas of land in and around that area. Now tried to from after my father, but subsequently it's still pending and it's been going on forever. And the Court of Wards in 1995 I was going through something that thing came up. Why was there something called Court of Wards?
Right.
And why is the estate stuck? But I initiated a litigation against the government of Bangladesh that time, and now it's in the Supreme Court of Bangladesh. Pending, I got a leave for appeal. Court in year 2000, the court deliberated on the case, and they said that, oh, you have to go back to
Lower court?
Back to the government to find if the money that had been, Nawab Salimullah had taken a loan from the
whether it had been paid out?
Paid out or not. Now, we had put in enough evidence to say that this had been paid off from 1907 or 1908 or 1938 would have been the last period.
Right.
So I found evidence and letters and things which stated that a certain amount was only maybe 2 lakhs was left out of the 16 lakhs.
Right.
So they deliberated and then they allowed my leave for appeal. And they said that the government has to put in all accounts of all lands, whether in possession or out of possession. Everything that there is to be put into an account and placed before the courts. But it's been as far as I know. So that is still pending in the court, in the appellate division.
Now, coming to politics, our family had as many as 10 members in 1937's parliament. Being a member of the same ruling class, why didn't you take a shot at Bangladeshi politics?
A very good question, I must say. You put a very tricky question. Politics means what? You do politics to assume a position in government one day. Right. And you assume that position so that you can do something for the country and the people. Country obviously means by the people, of the people, for the people.
Right.
And being such, I did not see a situation where it was, it was always either there was a martial law or there was a, service situation. When democracy did come back in 1991, then the positions were still, there was too much of this horse trading going on, this party, that party, and everybody, if one party was in power, the other one would, go for the throat of the other people.
Right.
Which, in my time, when I saw my father's time, didn't matter if you were in opposition, you always had good relationships with each other. Constructive, that's everywhere in the world. But in Bangladesh, I don't see that. If you are BNP, then you're the Army League scream at you. If you're an Army League, the BNP screams at you. If you're neither one of them, the Jamaati scream at you, and the leftists scream at them, and it's whatever it is. Look, to me, the freedom of thought, freedom of expression, and freedom of speech is a basic, fundamental human right.
Absolutely.
Which I find, in my opinion, has been missing in Bangladesh till today.
Okay.
That's the reason I did not relocate. And one more reason I want to say is that I never wanted to go into politics without having my own financial situation, because then it's like I'm going into politics to make money. I didn't want to go into politics to make money. If I can do service for the people in the country that's all right with me.
Sure. Since the inception, the head of the Dhaka Nawab family were always at the helm of Sir Salimullah Orphanage. Now with Begum Asadullah gone, would you be interested in filling that vacuum position?
Well, nobody's asked me to fill in that vacuum position. You again put me on a very tricky wicket, as they say.
And to safeguard the property of the...
For orphans, yes, I would do, if I ever requested by any government of Bangladesh or any other country, I mean for humanitarian sake, of course I would. But I would not be, I would go to manage the affairs.
Right.
I mean, I don't think that it would be my personal property. I have to answer at the end of the day when I'm dead and gone. So, for sure, yes, of course I would do that if I've been ever asked.